Okay, Destiny Ellis here. I'm going to show, this is going to be just my first part video for how to log into um, MySQL Workbench. And just to confirm, anyone who's watching this, this is version 6.3. I think it's 6.3.4, but I want to check. I'll confirm here in a second. So I'm recording this mainly for my personal use, but anyone else who's trying to understand how to navigate this, if you're taking, for example, the database management um, 4610 course at UGA, this would definitely help you out if you're having trouble. So all you need to do is I have MySQL Workbench down here. We can go ahead and open that. Now, this is taken for into account that you've already connected to the Terry MIST MySQL server, and that's pretty simple to do if you have the right login credential. You just go to database, connect. Actually, I forgot how to do that, but there should be a process that your instructor will give you in terms of how to connect to that database. So as soon as you log in, first thing we can do is go to help and confirm what system info, confirm what version of MySQL this is. Okay, we're using 6.3.6, and I'm using it. I have a MySQL installed for a 64-bit system. So we can go back out of that. Okay, so this is your home page for MySQL Workbench. You don't really need to worry too much right now about these shortcuts. The first thing that we're going to do is show you how to create a table and forward that table once it's created over to the Terry server so that we can query that table. Now I will say that right now I'm having a little bit of trouble that I'm going to have to figure out with my professor with forwarding my table to the server once it's created. But for the time being, I'm going to show you how to create the table itself using the workbench. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go down here to where it says models, click on the plus sign. So we're going to add a model, and it's going to bring you to this nice little interface here. So up here in the top right, this is where you can hide these menu bars on the left and the right. I hide them automatically. There's probably a feature somewhere, and I'll end up finding out so that it's just automatically pops up like this. First, you see right here, this is the physical schemas. What we're going to do is go over here to the right and click the plus sign for add schema. So our schema, we're going to go ahead and make an example here. And in our class we use the Olympics example, so I'm going to go ahead and type the name of that schema, Olympics, and you can add some comments if you want. Okay, and then what you want to do now is you can go ahead and exit out of that. You can see that the schema has been saved here where it says Olympics. You can see that we can add tables, we can add views, routines, groups, privileges, scripts, and notes for the model itself. We haven't really covered any of that. Like I said, right now we're just showing you how to add a table and add information to that table. So the first thing we're going to do is now we're going to double click on add table and give it a second. There we go. So don't get too flustered by all this. Just type in your table name. It's going to be Olympics. So here's where we type in the column names. So we'll make a column for um, Olympic number. And PK stands for primary key, and N stands for not null, which means that there has to be an information put in there. If it's a primary key, it has to be not null. So we can choose from a variety of different data types. For the Olympic number, we're just going to leave it at integer. Um, sorry about that. The next one we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add some sample column names. So we'll do country. This data type stands for variable character with a maximum of 45 characters, so it can have any number of characters up to 45. We'll go ahead and put in the date. We'll put in a couple other things such as um, that's just a good sample. We're not going to get too crazy with it, but realize that if you wanted to, you could continue adding information here for the column headers or the column names. So once you have all that information there, go ahead and delete that last one. Right click, delete selected. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you might want to add some information into that. So down here at the bottom is the menu bar for the table itself. You can set different settings for the table, different privileges. But here's what we want to click on, inserts, and that's where we'll be able to insert the information into the table based upon the columns that we've specified. And right here we can see that there's a star, which means that this is the primary key. So let's go ahead and type in number 1, country, USA, year 1993. This is just an example. So once you have your data inputted, the next thing that you might want to do is view the model. So in order to view the model from the input, all you do is you go up here, you click model, and then click create diagram from catalog objects. And it's going to create a nice model for you. Okay, so here's our model. And you can see that all the information we put in there is there. You can see that the Olympic number is the primary key because it's signaled by a yellow key. If we enter not null for the, see how we set the data type as variable character with a maximum of 45 characters. If we decided to set that as not null, this diamond would be shaded blue. So keep that in mind. If we wanted to edit that information, all you have to do is double click. And you can now go back into that and edit the inserts for the table itself. To get out of this, you just click the X right here, and it'll take you out of there. Save our changes. Now, if you want to forward this to the server, this is the problem that I'm having right now. I can show you the process to do it, but it's not going to work for me. So we'll go to Database, and we'll click Forward Engineer. If you've already got your server set up, the information should already be inputted here. If you don't, you can input the information here. My stuff's already set up. We'll click Next. Apparently we don't need to change any of this information, but know that you can, and we'll click Next. I have to log in. You should get that information from your professor. If you want to, this is basically showing you what you're forwarding to the server itself. So you can click Show Filter. It's going to show you what is contained in there. Have that checked, and then we click Next. And this is basically the script that is required to send it over to the server. In a perfect world, I don't know why it's not working for me. Maybe it's just a setting that's not, maybe I didn't set it up correctly. Maybe they just aren't allowing me to send it over to their server yet. I don't know. But this is the process that I had researched, and it's supposed to work, but it's not. The next, what you would do is you would just confirm that this is all correct. I guess it's correct. That beats the hell out of me. So we'll go down and we'll just click Next, and what it's going to do is run through four checks, and you'll see that on the last one it says operation has been completed with errors. Please see logs for details. So it didn't work. If it did work, it would tell you, and then you could click Close. And in an ideal world, you could go up here, you could exit out of your diagram, and you could go to View Home. You could double click on your server, and it would open the server. Takes a second. It would open your server, and then you would be able to go down here where it says schemas, and ideally the schema that you just created would pop up down here where it says schemas. Now that's just my interpretation of the stuff that I've looked at. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it's supposed to go. And then from there you could query it using a query here. If you wanted to add a query, you could just go here and click where is it, right here. You could go here and click create new SQL tab for executing queries, and it would just create another one for you. But unfortunately, it's not allowing me to forward my table to the server. But that's basically the process in a nutshell from my understanding. I could be wrong in some instances, but that's what I was able to garner from the website. So I'm not really able to go further and do any queries or anything, but that's where I'm going to stop for now, I guess. All right.